Focus, people. Let's stay focused. Donald Gilbert. Let's stay focused, Donald. For one, Donald left some interesting comments. One of them, he disagreed with me. He said, I don't agree with you when you're talking about players pretty much not being able to come through every game because it's a team effort. He's saying, players don't fall off in some of the games. Like, I don't know what you was watching when you saw LeBron James, going into championship games and just didn't show up. I don't know what you saw, but everybody else saw that he had some type of wasn't a physical breakdown, but it was just he just wasn't there. It was almost like he was switched off. He was just, you know, going through the motions. So I don't know what you saw, but I know what everybody else saw. But okay, your opinion is fine, and I don't mind somebody who just doesn't agree with what I'm saying. Uh, you know, as long as they give their reason, it's like okay, I feel you. I see that. Um, so yeah, okay. So he also had some other interesting comments. I should have brought my iPad out here so I can read them. Because Donald is a, a good subscriber. When I mean good, I mean he replies with feedback in one shape, form, or fashion. He's engaged into the conversation. Uh, Donald was talking about making videos. He commented on one of my other videos. Talking about making videos and how he's reluctant to make videos because there's no ending in sight. And one of them is because sagging pants. Donald said, I tell you guys, go ahead and make videos about this stuff. You guys are more informed than I am. And Donald says he's not going to make videos, but people ask him to make videos. But he's not going to do it because there's no end in sight. My reply to that is, Donald, is people are already of the reality that there is no end in sight. You making a video is not going to stop people from their idiocy. However, when they ask you to make a video, they want your opinion on the subject matter. Uh, they're coming to you for another look at the subject. They want to feel as if they're, might be on the right track or the wrong track. You know, you may completely disagree with them, or you might bring up another a way of thinking about a subject matter. That's why conversation is good. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can, have a conversation and then come out with 20 different, ways of thinking about one topic. When it comes to sagging pants, you know, you can go through the history of it, where it came from, which is pretty much prison and homosexuals or guys. Okay, some of the guys who are in prison having sex with other guys are not homosexuals at the start. Some go in and get turned, then they come out, they're homosexuals. While they're in, they're homosexuals. Some of them will not claim to be homosexuals. They're like, I'm in a situation, so I'm doing this. To me, it's a homosexual act. You're a homosexual. If you're practicing it, you're a homosexual. But there are those who prey upon others who are not homosexuals. Uh, and once they get into that situation, and some of them are locked up for life, they're not coming out of there. So when they're in that situation and they're not homosexuals, and they get preyed upon, next thing you know, they get raped. You know, and some of those guys are not homosexuals. However, they there's a way of living in jail. There's a way of surviving. Because you can die right now, even in jail. It's not the most protected place in the world. Uh, they can make your life harder if they're preying upon you. They can use you for getting what they want from the outside, and or you can use what you have to get what you want, or just to get by. And so when you find yourself in this position, you know, next thing you know, you find somebody who's doing a homosexual act because of either they want to do it, or they're forced to do it, or they're like, I either do this or this is gonna happen. So there's all kind of, but nonetheless, those guys who are in that position, who are making themselves readily accessible on purpose, those individuals sag their pants, and it's pretty much letting other people know what position that they, social position that they're in. So they sag their pants, and when you have that type of society, there's that it just doesn't stay in jail. It leaks out into, everyone else. And then when people look at it and say, oh, that's cool, next thing you know, other people are copying it because they think it's cool. So you have people out here who think it's a cool thing to do, to walk around with their underwear showing out. However, and it's often young people, however, they're not aware that that came from a very harsh society where a lot of the guys who did not choose to do it are being constantly raped or have been raped, and then they're turned, and some of them have, willingly done it. They willingly went in, and they're like, hey, I need cigarettes, or whatever the situation, and that was the trade. So if you guys don't know anything about that, you can look at a lot of, you can go on YouTube, find a lot of prison stories where very bad situations have happened to these guys. And or you can talk to people who've been locked up in prison. You know what I'm saying? And you can talk to those people and they'll be like, yeah, I know someone who has went through that. You know what I mean? When they got out, their pants were still sagging. You're like, yo, you still busting a sag, walking with a switch. You know? And then the kids think that it's a form of rebellion. The guys do, the younger guys do what the females are attracted to. So if they think you're a rebellious person, some type of badass, they're attracted to that. They're attracted to that energy. And then the more women who are attracted to you, the more women are attracted to you. You could walk into a place with no woman, club, bar, whatever, no woman on your shoulders, and they'll look at you like something's wrong with you. But as soon as one of them walks up to you and she's good looking, it's lights out. You'll just get a bunch of them that'll start looking at you and wondering why this girl wants you, and they'll be sitting at the table with a bunch of girls just looking at you, talking about you, and won't say nothing to you because they're afraid to be the girl to go up and say something to you. But as soon as somebody recognizes you and this girl is a good looking woman and she is, all in your face having a great conversation, the other women are looking at you and then they're attracted to you. This has always been the case. Women are attracted to what other women are attracted to. You know what I mean? So if women are attracted to bad guys, guess what most guys are going to aspire to be? They're going to have some form of that in their dress code, in their language, in their social life, you know, in the way they speak. They're going to have some of this lingo, and they may not be that whatsoever, but they're going to have that in their back pocket because they want some female's attention, and they know being a goody two shoes is not going to get it. You roll up on a chick talking about some, yeah, I just got in the, Harvard. She'd be like, so what? You roll up on some chick and be like, yeah, I got that Reggie on me, or, I'm about to go smoke a blunt. You will find a quick reaction. Even if she doesn't smoke, she's going to want to be in your presence because you're being rebellious. You know what I'm saying? So, even if these guys aren't gay, wearing your pants down like that is a form of rebellion. And this is why it's not going to stop, Donald. It's knitted into our social atmosphere now, you know, and it's acceptable by women. So you will never, never, ever stop males from doing something that is acceptable by women. It's just like, why would I stop when I'm getting this girl's attention that I want? Especially at a very young age, high school, college. It's just like, oh, but no, see. Even all the way up to you like 30, you'll see guys busting a sag. They're like, well, I'm not going to stop busting a sag because this chick is looking at me hard. You know what I'm saying? And she's about to give me exactly what I want. You know what I'm saying? Her and her friend. you know? It makes the fight a lot less to get to the goal of some type of what's going on, of some type of social, I don't know, social equilibrium. You have the whole issue of the women and their mainstay of you know how they date men, how they look at men, and you know what I'm saying. And you have to position yourself if you want this woman or any woman to dig you. You have to position yourself in a certain. But this is the way they look at it, and it's very simplistic. When you're middle school, high school, it's very simplistic. You either do it or you don't get anywhere. That's it. When you get older, of course, it gets a little complicated because sagging pants ain't gonna pay the bills. Ain't gonna pay the bills. You sag your pants. That's not unless you're a model or something. And sagging pants is what they want to do. Then, like that dude Jeremy, who was in prison at one time, and now he's out. And he's a millionaire. So it works for him. Anyway, so that's pretty much what's going on there. But nonetheless, when somebody asks you to do a video, do the video. That is just that's a YouTube rule. If they ask you to do the video, do it because the subject matter and the conversation is going to turn into dollars. That's just all there's to it. Not unless it's something just completely outrageous. You're like, I'm not doing that. Or I'm not talking about that. But if it's something that they want to see and want to hear you talk about, they are your audience. Remember, they're not following you, you're following them. You are their audience because the conversation is what pays you. And even if you're doing it outside of just getting paid, it's like, it comes down to the purpose. What's your purpose on YouTube? Is it just to look around? Okay, just look around. If you don't feel like talking, don't talk. You can just reply with that. Nah, I'm not going to do it. I don't feel like talking. But if your purpose is to, you know, practice your, you know, right to speech and to say what you want and to be very vocal and open and, If you have an agenda, why not do it and make a couple dollars for it? I do. That's what I do. Why not let YouTube pay you? Just for talking about people who sag their pants. Hell, dip into the whole history of it. Make some good money. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get off into it. Go ahead and do some research on it. Do some 10-minute videos on research on sagging pants. I got a video I made up about Justin Bieber sagging pants. I made that video 2 years ago. I still get money off of it. I don't care if it's 1 cent. I got paid for doing something that I just felt like doing. Yeah, I did. I still make money off of that video. So that's what I'm saying. Just do it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? I made videos. I made some videos last year just off of opinion. I felt like making. I'm still getting paid for those videos. I made some videos 3 years ago. I still get paid for those videos. And listen, I don't make a colossal amount. I'm not making a living on YouTube like some people. But nonetheless, it just feels good to get rewarded for something you just felt like doing. I'll make money off of this video. It might be 5 cents. But that's 5 cents that I didn't have before. That's the way I look at it. Because I really don't make a lot of money on YouTube. I really don't. But when I see that I've made I get excited about a penny. Because I'm like, I made a penny off of that conversation. You know, like my Siri conversation where I'm talking to Siri through my iMac. I still make, a couple pennies off of that every now and then. Actually, pretty much every day, I make like 1 or 2 cents off of that one video I posted a couple months ago. So I'm saying, there's your incentive. There's your incentive. Why not make a couple pennies off of it? Pennies add up to, eventually add up to dollars. Your threshold is at $100. You get paid. You might get paid once a year, but that's $100 that you didn't have before. Listen, I paid my rent off of one of those YouTube payments. I knew it was coming up. I was watching my YouTube count, and I don't make a lot of money, but I knew that $100 was about to hit, and I was like, I need some money right now. And as soon as that $100 hit, I was just like, that's going to my rent. I took that $100, paid my rent. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yes, Lord. So I tell every single one of my neighbors what I do on YouTube. I don't tell them how much I make. You know what I'm saying? I don't be like, hey, I tell them every now and then if I made something like crazy. Like I made $17 one day, just in one day. Because of talking about the NBA. Just one day on one video. No, it was collectively. But I made $17 in that one day. That's the most I ever made. I told my neighbor about that because I was like, look, you should make some YouTube videos just in your spare time. But he works all the time. He said, man, if I made YouTube videos, it would be about me sleeping. I said, you know what? People will watch it. And this woman said, you know what? Oddly enough, they will. I said, hey, all I can tell you is that you'll get paid for it. So I guess that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, I'm done. God bless you all.